Kyle here from All Media Reviews, here to do another Kevin Gilbert Thud video. I'm trying to do like one of these a week, so this is number 7 for the Tears of Audrey, which, so that would mean I'd have, the standard 3 more tracks after the 3 more videos. Go over that Shrug All Because of You, and All Fall Down, and what's the last one? A Song for a Dead Friend. But then I'm going to probably do a video on some of the non-released tracks, including Kashmir. 1 or 2 videos. I don't know. I don't know if I'll be doing... Anyway. So this is about the Tears of Audrey. Which, again, counting the versions, there's like 5 versions. I mean, here. So there's... See, I pulled this out. I didn't pull the vinyl up, but here's one of the promos, which includes... This has Late for Dinner as listed on it. This is Thud. I don't know the artwork, but there's the standard version, of course, on there. Then there's 2 demos. There's and that's 4:45. The standard is 4 minutes and 45 seconds. The 20th anniversary has the demo dash straight. The 20th book, and then also on one disc, and then I don't know if it's on both discs or one of them. But then there's just an instrumental demo. And then there's one on the acoustic. And I think this will be... No, there's one more. The Song for a Dead Friend. So this will be the second to last one. There's a Thud Acoustic version. And then there was a version on... It's called the Ringo Mix on the Thud alternate, which came out a few months ago. So... So as far as length goes, yeah, the standard's like 4:45. The 2 demos, the instrumental demo is 5:39, so it's a little over a minute longer. It's like, or almost a minute longer. The demo straight is 5:16 again. So I mean, the length's a little different, a little bit longer, and then the acoustics is just under 5 minutes, so that's 4:59, and the alternate's 5.5 minutes. So it ranges, but so talking about Tears of Audrey itself, just the standard of the song, I know it was a song like was the one I just talked about T for One. It's a ballad. It's a very sad ballad. And I know I think it was in the last interview or one of the other interviews that Kevin mentioned how it was a song that he had to really work at to try to capture a performance. He was like overtly trying to capture a performance, but he wasn't able to do that. He worked at it, but it was I guess it was about a friend of his who died, I think. I forget the exact details. Audrey is referring to like a woman who lost someone Kevin knew. I think it might be related to Song for a Dead Friend. I don't think so, but I haven't read. I remember reading about it, and I haven't watched that last interview in many years. I don't know if it was that specific interview he talked about that, but it's a song that I mean I like, although I mean between that and T for One, I mean it's T for One I think I appreciate a little more just comparing the two. I think of the 2 songs and I think of Song for a Dead Friend in some ways. These kind of very sad, melancholy ballads with moments of very clear emotion, passion, and a lot of thought-provoking elements. But it's sad. It's talking about this woman's like someone's died and she's kind of trying to deal with grief, really. Hence the name Tears of Audrey, even. So now just getting into it, I mean, so what else can I say about the standard version? It has a slow tempo. It gets light. I was just listening to it again today for the 138th time, and noticing how there's some guitar sustains that I really appreciate on the guitar parts. And there's a section where there's like it sounds like organ. I don't know if it's Dave Kersner or if Kersner played on this. He played live with him. He might have. He played on, I think, on some of Thud, and then Peter Wurlitzer. And then there's some slide guitar, which is interesting. I'm not surprised. And I think, the Tuesday Night Music Club, that album has a fair amount of slide guitar too, or pedal steel guitar. So, but yeah, I mean, that's my overall just take of it throughout experience listening to Standard. So now talking about the other versions, whatever I'm talking about, 4 other versions. So on the anniversary, the demo dash straight. Unlike the Standard, starts out with just acoustic guitar, and Kevin is singing in a little bit. It sounds like he sings in a slightly higher key. It's a different key. And he sings like certain lines like, "From now I will not love again." The word again. He stretches out the word again, so he's doing the vocal part a little different. He extends out. So that was actually chopped, reduced when we put out the final version, the version on Thud. But okay, one of the clear differences among this and the Standard is there's a use of piano. I don't believe the final version has the piano. That section where he goes, there will be no hearts to men. It's very organic sounding, that piano. It's like acoustic piano, but it's great. It's more like Elton Johnny in some way or whatever. Then another thing I noticed about it is the kick drum and percussion seems to be mixed higher, if not kind of different, than on the Standard at points on this version, on the demo. And again, like he says, he stretches out, there will be no hearts, or I will not love again. Again, he stretches out the phrase, it's easier this way, the word way. And some of the drum work sounds like it's being played on brushes. Something like the third chorus. So then on it's like right at the third chorus, the chorus that starts off, "There are no skies of blue," or part of it's, "There are no skies of blue, there are no dreams come true." He adds the line, "It is so unfair, let the world be..." Wait a minute. There's part of that is different. I know he repeats a phrase or something. It is so unfair is not part of it. It is so unfair, let the world beware. Because he uses the phrase, "It is let the world beware" on the Standard version. But should the tears of Audrey fall, and he stretches out the word fall. I remember the lyrics. I'm not sure it's identical. It's close to that, but he doesn't use the word "it is so unfair." So then at that point, right after that chorus, that part of the chorus that's added, or that verse, you hear some saxophone, just like on T for One and one of the other tracks I've talked about in this series. So then a verse, "And now she's shutting her windows tight, and she's closing all her blinds. How can I believe in? How can I with a question mark? How can I believe in light when darkness it's all around, all around?" Then it goes to the chorus, "There are no hearts to mend." So that part of the verse is added in also. So then in the outro, it has acoustic guitar and bass, which you don't really hear on, if at all, on the Standard. And the line is, "So unfair, let the world beware, should the tears of Audrey fall." And it's in a different line with chanting. Yeah, he's kind of chanting and wailing. That's kind of how it ends. Yeah, I like the straight demo dash straight in some ways more. I mean, I'm a sucker for the piano and the sax especially, and so that's a large part of a lot of these demos. He ended up tried using sax, and then decided not to use it when he finished the album, the version. But so all right, so moving on to the demo on here, which is, I guess it's not the same length, but you could say is pretty similar to an instrumental version. The demo instrumental. It's 5 minutes and 39 seconds. It's pretty similar to the demo straight, which is 5/16. So it's like 20 more seconds or whatever it is, 23 more seconds. Other than there's no vocal parts, of course, so it's instrumental. There's parts of the guitar, I think it's mostly the guitar parts. I hear this on this and one of the other versions. the acoustic guitar that's like layers, a couple layers of acoustic guitar, very light and new agey almost. Reminds me of the song he did a couple different times called Circling Winds. It's very dreamy. Also with the percussion, it sounds like either vibra slap or a shaker, which, shaker was a common instrument a lot of these songs had on the different versions. The bass parts seem to be a little more noticeable in the instrumental, and that's probably partly due to how it's mixed with where the vocals are. You don't hear the bass, it's clearly when the vocals are being sung. Yeah, I mean, this is like the straight demo, but just instrumental. I mean, with less piano, and there's no sax, of course. So all right, so moving on to Thud Acoustic. If I can pull that up here again. Which came out, whatever it was, about a year ago, or the Tears of Audrey on here, which is a little bit longer, as I mentioned when I was first talking about it in this video. Or no, it's actually shorter. It's 4:59. It's a little longer than the standard, but I mean, it's slower. It sounds sadder. It's deeper. Like it's a deeper tone to his voice, and it is for the most part, since it's acoustic. Kevin just writing. Here's what the inside of the acoustic. I haven't shown that. Just writing it with, like, singing with the guitar. There may be more than one track of guitar, but yeah, the tempo is just slower. He does stretch out some of the vocals, like he stretches out the word dreams, and he sounds like on a few of these other versions on the acoustic, he sounds more like fatigued, tired, etc. I mean, maybe that he was going for to some degree. Then I noticed how, like, maybe about 2/3 into it, toward the end, from there at that point to the end, so maybe about like 3 minutes in, some pitch bending, which sounds like it's on bass, almost like not like a fretless bass, but maybe it is fretless bass, and it's got this slow twangy element to it, and it also kind of reminds me of the last track on Shaming of the True, not From Here to There, Johnny's last song. This kind of, slow, sad tone with the acoustic guitar, Yeah, I mean, that's what I kind of got some from the end of it, especially. But that pitch bending section with I don't know if it's on bass, but he's bending the pitch, or maybe just on the acoustic guitar, I think added a little something extra to the acoustic version of the Tears of Audrey. So now moving on to the final one on here, the alternate Ringo mix on the alternate Tears of Audrey Ringo mix. He's singing at the beginning, starts like acoustic. So like all the versions other than the one that's the standard Thud, he starts out with like an acoustic guitar. It intros with that. And it sounds like he's singing in like a higher pitch, higher key. Maybe like a step or two up, possibly. But again, the circling winds element I was getting reminded of that with the acoustic guitar at points. Again, he was stretching out the word love, again, like on the demo straight. The piano is on here, but it's not quite as high in the mix as on the demo straight. Just call it the straight demo or whatever you want to call it. It does have sax and piano again. During the Should the Tears, right after the Should the Tears of Audrey Fall, about 3 minutes in. And it has that extra wording, the same lyrical change that he changed on from the demo took out of the demo, whatever, that now she's shutting her windows tight and she's closing all her blinds. How can I, ? Believe in light when darkness, it's all around. Then to the chorus, there are no hearts demand, and I just went over this. But then there's some organ towards the end, but it sounds a little different than it sounds more like a Hammond or something. I don't know, it might be the same, but I was just thinking that sounded I didn't do go back to the straight demo to see if it was a different sounding organ, or even to the original, but my memory was that the organ that you heard on the Ringo mix is a different tone of whatever organ or whatever he was using, or was it Dave Kurzner, whoever was playing it. And it has the line, "It is so unfair, let the world beware, should the tears of Audrey fall." In a different line, with the chanting and the light wailing. I mean, it's almost like the Ringo mix is the straight demo with just a few modifications those two are similar, and it kind of goes back to with the Thud alternate where, you know, it took a lot of songs, a lot of the versions on the second and third disc on the 20th anniversary, and were only slightly different. Some of them are more dramatically different, but I would say, so far having listened to compared 7 of these songs, at least half, probably at least 3 or 4 of them, the differences are kind of limited. I'm not saying if you love Kevin Gilbert, you want to hear more of his music and love Thud, it's not worth getting the alternate, because it still very much is. But, you know, I'm just saying that the similarities, as I suspected, and I don't know if this, I think this is still for sale, but it's less money, obviously, to buy the Thud alternate than getting this whole book. So, so that's it for the Tears of Audrey. Like I said, I'll go on to Shrug Because of You probably next week. For the Thud tracks, because the thing is, it's most people that know Kevin know that, but the average listener, someone who's only heard Thud and never listened to Giraffe, aren't aware of the fact Shrug Because of Me and You, because of Me and You, is basically an evolved version of the Giraffe song called Because of You. So I'm going to have to actually include the Power of Suggestion version Because of You in here. So that's one of them. So you have the standard, then you have that, then you have a demo that's on here of Just Because of You. So it really changed the final version. And then there's a version on Thud alternate. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, at least 4, maybe 5. So I mean, that's what I'm finding. There's 4 to 5 versions of every one of these songs. So, but anyway, that's about it. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time.